Hey everyone, it's Hadar. Thank you so much for joining me. I am super excited to share today's episode because today you will get to hear the incredible success stories of my students. I'm inviting you to listen to 6 of my students who share their fluency experience and what has worked for them inside my program, New Sound, and what is possible for them today that was not possible for them before. Get your tissues ready because there might be some tears here. Let's watch. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live. This is day 13 of the Fluency Bootcamp. I'm super thrilled to have you all here. And this is by far my favorite day of all day in the bootcamp because today you are going to meet some of my incredible students who are going to tell you their stories and their inspiring stories. And they're going to share with you what has worked for them going from being frustrated and maybe feeling like their English is not enough to feeling like they're in control of their journey and they're learning every single day how to own their voice. So I cannot wait to share with you their stories. So I'm not going to wait any longer. I see that people are already joining. Let me invite Jelena, woo, Šárka, Oscar, Aline, Jessica, and Francis. Woo! Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Hello. Super happy, excited.
Excited to be here with you today.
It's like we're almost in the same room. It feels like we're just, chatting around, sitting around and enjoying our Saturday.
Yep.
So let's quickly go around and why don't you all introduce yourself? So I'm just going to go according to order how it shows up on my screen. Jelena.
Oh, okay. So
you're the first. Are you ready?
So my name is Jelena and I'm from Serbia. And my native language is Serbian. And currently I'm living in the United States. So I need English in everyday life. And actually, I started to learn English while I was in my elementary school, and I learned it a few years during my high school and college. But those were those traditional ways of teaching. We were mostly focused on grammar and vocabulary, and I didn't have much opportunity to speak. And then I started my PhD back in Serbia, and then I was in a daily contact with English because I needed for my research. I'm in natural science. I'm computational chemist, so I needed for reading papers and publishing papers. So I improved a lot my writing and reading skills. However, I still didn't have much opportunity to speak. And the only opportunity I had to speak was on scientific conferences. And that was so scary for me because I didn't have in the past much, I didn't have a chance to speak in English. And I had this constant fear of speaking in English because I was not used to speaking English. And
it's so crazy because it feels like, you didn't have a lot of experience. And then when you did, it was in a conference where you had to show up and you have to speak, about your work. So intimidating, even in your native language.
Yeah, exactly. And it was really crazy because I would, write down some script and try to learn it by heart. And every time it was so difficult and stressful for me. And then time passed, and my career path brought me to United States, and it was even more difficult because I needed to communicate with my supervisor, with my colleagues, and that was extremely challenging for me. I was afraid, okay, I could speak with them, but I was not satisfied with myself because I didn't have much experience in speaking. And then there is like a link at the University of Michigan for international students with recommendations to the links where you can improve your English skills. And I saw your link. Actually, it was a recommendation of one, I think, of your students, and it caught my attention immediately. And I started following you. And first, I started with sprints, with Sprint Master, and that was like my favorite way of practice. And today it still is. I cannot imagine my day without sprint. and
Why do you
yeah,
find
and
it effective, by the way? What was working for you in terms of the sprints?
So it was for my pronunciation, because before I met you, I was never aware of all those sounds in English. So definitely that was one of the things. And the other, because you have also a little bit of grammar and everything else, reductions, that also helped me for my speaking skills as well as my listening skills.
Yeah.
So that was really great. And then and it's a little bit silly, but it felt like, I know you're my best friend, and with you every day I'm practicing with you, you're cheering me up, pushing me forward. And then it was, I think, then English Fluency Festival started. And then after that, the new round of Newstown started, and I didn't have any doubt that I'm gonna start with a new sound, that I'm gonna join new sound. And
I
that
love that.
was like I think one of my best decisions in my life, because it really, as I said, turned my attitude toward the English, and I achieved a lot in the last of 3 months. I became more confident speaker. I don't have any fear to speak with other people, to meet other people, because back in Serbia, I had a lot of friends. My social skills and and my social skills were pretty amazing, I would say, back in Serbia. But I lost it when I moved to United States. And now I am feeling like I can have friends here in the United States.
Wow.
And I already like hanging out with my colleagues, with my husband's colleagues. I met some people on my salsa classes, and everything changed for me.
That is so amazing. And first of all, it reminds me of something that Francis shared that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, like that idea of, when you're in your native language, your social skills and your communication skills, like for some people, this is your superpower. And this is exactly the words that Francis shared. He said, my words were my superpower. My communication was my superpower. And I felt it was taken away from you, as if I left it behind and I moved into a new place, all stripped out of all the things that I've known about myself. And now I have to start over. So knowing that this is a new gained ability for you and for Francis and for the rest of you is pretty amazing. And that's thanks to all the work that you've put in, your commitment, your consistency, and deciding to dare, which I think, and I want you to talk about a story that happened to you a few weeks into the program, where it's like you always have this path or this choice between doing something or continuing the thing that you're used to doing. And the moment you choose to do something a little different, that's when you start changing. Do you mind talking about that a little bit? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think that was like the first time I get out of my comfort zone. So there was a lecture at university here at university, and of one professor from nearby university, and it was about a topic which is very interesting for me, because I'm doing research in a similar field. And I had a question for him, but I was not that secure that I'm gonna make that question. But after lecture passed, I just said to myself, I'm gonna do it. And then I approached that professor and I asked him a question, and then we started to to talk about the subject. And the best thing is that I found out some very interesting points of view regarding my research and some new ideas. So that was like the first time when I get out of my comfort zone in the real world. And yeah, it was amazing experience. And after that, it just became easier and easier. So for example, last I think 2 weeks ago, I had an interview for another postdoc position. And usually when I'm having an interview in English, I am worried not only for the interview itself, but whether I will be able to communicate in English. And this was like the first time I didn't worry about my English. I knew I can do it. And that was really, really, I don't know. I'm so happy because of that. Yeah.
That is such a huge win. Like English. Wait, yeah. Where's the applause? Hold on. I need to find it. I think, yeah. You're all going to get a round of applause here. I think this is a big deal because ultimately, I think everyone here, everyone watching this right now, the English is a thing. It's a thing. We need to consider it. It's a burden we carry if it's not like something that is completely effortless to us, right? And because of that, like when it's no longer a part of your decision making, right? Whether or not you should do something or how you should feel about something, when it stops being a component in your decision making, it's a huge win and a huge, like it really does feel like a huge burden is lift off, which is where you're at now. And that's amazing.
Yeah, because it was like as I said in my wins video, before New Sound, I could not apply for jobs because they would always write down excellent communication and English skills. And I was always worried because I thought, okay, I'm not for this job. My English is not good enough. And now I don't have that fear anymore. And that's really great.
That's
Great
amazing.
feeling.
It's an amazing feeling. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy for you that you have, you've done that. And I'm going to come back to you in a little bit just to ask about the decisions that, how to help others, if you have any advice for others to get to where you are today. But now I'm going to move on to Francis because we just talked about the same idea. And I want you to talk about this as well. Like this idea about feeling like you lost your superpower. And also, hi, good to see you. And introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
Hi, everyone. Well, my name is Francis. I'm from Brazil, and I have been living in Canada for 7 months now. But the beginning of my journey here in this new life, it was like 3 months to settle in. But then I faced the English, because it's completely different when you go to travel to a country and you need to speak to reserve on a hotel or something like that. And when your life depends on English, so I felt this kind of a situation. And in Brazil, as Hadar already said, I used to use communication as my differential, my superpower as a professional, because I was a new business professional in an advertising company. So I had to give many presentations to many kind of professionals, like a manager, directors, even presidents. And this was my thing. Then when I arrived here in Canada, I felt that I lost completely my superpower because I was always stuck when I would like to ask something, for someone. And but thankfully, I met Hadar virtually in her videos on YouTube. And after that, I found out about the New Sound program that completely changed my life, my vision about English. Because as Hadar already said here, English was a kind of a burden, like a duty that you had to achieve to find success. And actually, nowadays I see English in a completely different way, because I had a lot of fun talk with a lot of people in this community of the New Sound program. And I made a lot of friends. For instance, Jessica is one that I talk every week, and Galina too, and many others that I had the chance to talk with. All these people here, these beautiful people here, are amazing people that I met in the break room on our conversation practice. Well, I think that's it. And well, yeah, I think that's it. I really I think the thing about New Sound for me was the change of this mindset. I had my English and somewhere, it was hidden, and I had to have something to unlock my English. And I always used to say in the break rooms of our conversation practice that New Sound program was the first real guide to learn English, because we have all the thing really well planned for Hadar and her team, that they give us this kind of knowledge with so much energy, and that made us feel so comfortable to overcome challenges and to be better, like in our professional life and personal life. Yeah,
that's amazing. And I think that, like, for you, first of all, you kept sharing in the community. And I want you to talk about the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So you were very much involved inside the community of New Sound, which I think contributed to your English success and to you staying on track. Because when you're alone, it's a lot harder to stay on track. So can you talk a little bit about why it's important to be inside of the community, and maybe talk a little bit about the New Sound community?
Well, I think this is the right question to do to me, because I'm a guy that if you see my social media, like, I'm not a guy that posts a lot of things. I don't want to expose myself a lot. But then I need to even say that my first partner, a conversational partner that I start to talk with, was Galina, and she came with in our first section. She came with one idea to, you know what? There is ambassadors, Sergio and Norshi. They share videos every day. What do you think about that? And it was my first meeting with her. She is really sweet. So I thought, oh man, I don't want to do that, but okay, let's do it. And then I started to do that, and this completely changed my mind, because of these videos that I start to expose myself for just one person. I could see how this is a thing that moves you forward to learn English, to put you out of your comfort zone. That is one thing that we talk a lot on the New Sound program. You need to be out of it, to face your fears. And so the community after that was something easy, because I think in English, it's much more about experience, like everything. It doesn't matter if you're speaking and making a lot of mistakes. I probably am using wrong prepositions here, different.
We all do. We all do. Don't worry about it.
This is the thing. We need one thing that I learned because of the community. It's to embrace imperfection, and this made me a better speaker, because now I don't care if I'm doing a lot of making a lot of mistakes. And because of the community also, I received so much support, when I post a video that had a lot of mistakes, everybody, oh, Francis, you made a very good job. You're amazing. And we see that for everybody. So it's a really real environment that you can feel really comfortable, and you always will receive the support that you need.
That's beautiful. And really, I want to congratulate you on and wait, a round of applause just for that. Yay! But I want to congratulate you on really pushing yourself to get out of your comfort zone. Because just like Jelena, you could have said to yourself, no, I'll wait until I'm ready. I'm more ready, right? Like I'll wait a little bit longer and then I will start speaking, or I'll just continue doing what I know how to do, which is to practice on my own. And you said yes, even though it was challenging, and a whole new world of opportunities opened up because you really got to know people. It started being not about English, but about communicating and connecting, which is a great reminder of the fact that our superpower is our communication, no matter what language we speak, as long as we let it be, which is a
Exactly.
beautiful discovery.
Exactly. A round of applause for Hadar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Francis, thank you so much. I'm going to come back to you in a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to ask Aline to share with us her story or her starting point, or just why don't you start by introducing yourself? Let me unmute you. Yeah. Hold on.
Hi.
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 Hi, how are you? Thank you for unmute me because I think I got a little bit of issue and I couldn't see the button here to unmute myself. So, hi everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you for this amazing opportunity. This is a huge opportunity to get myself out of my comfort zone. It's a big challenge for me to be here, but I'm so thrilled. And yeah, I couldn't be more than thankful for that. So,
I
so
thank
I
you for being here. I really, really appreciate you and the fact that you're here on a
yeah, it
Saturday.
was yeah, it was not easy to say yes, but I did it, and I'm here. so so I'm Aline. I'm Brazilian as well, and I live in Brazil. And actually, I don't use English on my daily basis, but during this new sound process, I just realize why I'm so passionate for English. It's because English is a huge part of my personal growth, because once I decided to learn English, it was like many years ago after finishing high school, when I didn't know, I wasn't sure what career I would go for. So I decided just to start with English because I knew English would be a plus, would be helpful in any career I could choose. And actually, by that time, I didn't like English because, as most of people share, we learn English at regular school, and we are not learning a lot with the traditional methods. And but I decided to go just because I didn't want to be like wasting time or stagnant. So I decided to go for English by that time. And the first, I just fell in love with English once English started to make sense and I could start, communicating the first words, the first sentences. I fell in love with English, and then I got to know in that school where I was student. I got to know about exchange program. That then I said, well, I want to do it because now I want to learn English faster. I feel that necessity to learn English, to understand movies and music and everything. So I planned to go for the exchange program. It's called Au Pair. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's about living abroad with a host family in a speaking English country. And you work for them as a nanny, live with them. And so I just, planned for that. By that time, I had to save money. I had to take drive license and everything. So, well, it took a long years. I was able to go for just the exchange program just like years later, because by that time I was also working. It was like I was kind of settled in that job that I had, so it was a little bit hard just to quit the job and lose all my work rights and everything. So I just took the time to prepare myself. So as I did it, like, just to make a long story short, as I didn't, and I made it to go abroad, and I was living in US by Sierra area there around there for 18 months. And it was like a big challenge for me. Maybe some people see it like something very, I don't know, fancy or something, but it's not. It was challenging. Like my whole trip to US, I was crying because I was going to leave my family behind and everything. So it was really challenging. And then my first stop in US, and for you, like for you guys have an idea, it was my first trip out of my hometown.
Wow.
I had never, yes. I have to calm myself down. So for those who knows me, you guys know I'm very emotional. So
you're in the right environment. I think we're all. I mean, I'm specifically very emotional. I'll start crying too in just a minute. But no, like this is, it's a story of pride, and it's a story of, accomplishment.
yes,
You know where you are today and how hard it
yes,
was, and you're like thinking of that person who was there suffering, and you're like, you want to tell her, don't worry,
that's right.
it's
That's
gonna it
exactly.
ends up okay. It ends up,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what makes me emotional, because as I'm talking and as I'm expressing myself, in the background of my mind, the whole details of the scenario comes, and I just that whole feeling comes, and yeah, that's what gets me emotional. But coming back for the story, so as this experience abroad was really a huge opportunity for me to grow as a person, and I did it. I came back from US like 18 months later, another Aline, another person. I learned a lot. I went through so many challenges, so many, hard time, and then the hard time just kept going on, right? There's a lot of more to talk about it, but just to, let you know how I realized, and I could realize that just now during the New Sound program, why I'm passionate about English, because it was I think now I think I chose English to be part of my life, and English has embraced me in a way that I can explain, So I'm just in love, and I realize it, and like I never used it English in my work, but even though I never used it, like actually it was also one of my skills that opened great job opportunities for me here in Brazil, and I'm so grateful for that. And then I kept studying on my own. I never got back for English school after that, because I felt like my English was okay. I knew that was not perfect. I knew that I had a lot to improve, but in my mind, I just need to communicate. Just need to convey my message. If I'm able to do that, that's fine. So I'm not gonna keep studying like in a school. I'm gonna study on my own. So I kept consuming a lot of content, listening to audios on YouTube, YouTube lessons, or watching movies and everything. But then I got to a point when I realized, okay, I'm stagnant. I'm stuck. I don't feel like I have got any improvement in my English. And then when I got pregnant, I already had this planning in my mind that I would raise my child bilingual, and I started to interact with him since my pregnancy in English, and then I was okay with that. I was like, I was not worried about my mistakes and anything. I wasn't worried about teaching wrong things for my child, and I just kept the strategy or the project, the plan. But then he started to speak, and his first words was in English, and then as he was developing, and he was, of course, watching shows in English as well, so he could learn the right English from the shows that he was watching, and he would come up with like cute, outcomes, and he would tell me things that I was like, what? Are you really saying that? And I was like, okay, so now I need to. I had even more reason to improve my English, and beyond that, I was at a point that I was feeling, because after having a child, of course, we devote a lot of our time to that child. So it was my first child, so I was devoting all my time in my life. And I was okay with that, because I was enjoying my new journey. It was a new experience for me to be a mother, and I was so in love, of course. And everything I was done to him was like my huge pleasure. But then when he started to grow up a little bit more, and he was like around a year and a half, close to 2 years, and he was going back to school last year, I felt like, okay, maybe now it's time for me to do something for myself. So I need to go back to my studies, because I've always been an active person. I've always been taking any kind of course. I like to learn things. So I was taking any kind of course. I never felt comfortable to be stagnant. I have to be learning something in order to feel myself, to feel like that I was doing something to get myself, like forward in life, to move myself on. And so by that time I felt like, okay, I need to go back to my studies. I need to take some course or take something. And I didn't know what to do. And I was enrolling for so many courses related to my work, Excel course, like, Power BI course, but I couldn't stick to it. I couldn't have consistency. I couldn't, it was just crazy. And I was getting frustrated. And then I said, why not English? Why not do something around, something that I'm passionate about and makes me feel happy. And then I was talking to a friend, and she told me, Aline, you should consume a lot of content, because I told her I had a very busy routine, and I couldn't find time to organize anything, to study and everything. And so you should consume a lot of content. And that's when I came across to your podcast, Hadar. And it was the best thing that happened in my life. Oh my God, because by that time I was also, as I was struggling with that and I was feeling so frustrated, I was also praying and asked God, oh, please put something on my way that I can, sorry. And that's exactly the time when I came across your podcast, and I was listening to you, and I just got addicted to it. I was listening to you all the time, even in my car. And my husband was like, oh, you just listen to that lady all the time. No, you're all about, this lady and stuff. And I said, and I told him, oh, you should do the same. Pay attention to her. And that's your opportunity for you to learn. Because he had learned something from me as I was interacting with my son all the time in English. So he had already also learned something, but he was kind of jealous, I don't know, maybe. But I was just in love, and just to not extend myself, I just have to tell you that was the best thing. And now I feel so happy, even though my time is so short. I didn't have time to be very active in New Sound program. I felt myself so sometimes bad because I couldn't be active. But the little work I was able to do every day brought me, oh my God, I cannot express the amazing results I had, especially in mindset. It's just like Francis said, I think your course is should be the first one for any, language learning to have it before, because we think sometimes that grammar, because our concern as students is always grammar. We want to, to speak perfectly, use the right structures. But when I met your course, I was just so amazed, because I was like, oh my God, where does she come from? She must has come right from heaven, because you just you just have everything there, and it was things that and somehow I knew that it was important. I could never, gather so many amazing, strategy, and it's just like, it's amazing the work you did, and I'm so happy to have that opportunity to be part of it. And I have no words to, express how grateful I am for that.
Oh my God, I feel like I went through an emotional roller coaster right now, right there with you. Wait a minute, a round of applause. Wow, Aline, first of all, um, thank you for sharing your beautiful story. You can't see it, but all the comments are like, "Oh my God, this is exactly where I am, and this is so inspiring because it's true. It's so honest and so real, and so like this is how it is. We work hard. We have hopes for ourselves, for our kids, and we're trying to figure out how to get like a little bit of peace of mind and to take care of ourselves. And I'm so grateful that your friend recommended you to consume a lot of content, which is exactly what I tell you not to do. But I'm glad she said that, and that led you to the podcast, and that led you here to speak with us and
That's
really
right.
inspire so many people. Aline, thank you so much. I'm going to come back to you to ask you for a piece of advice for people who are exactly in your place. But again, for
Sure.
now, thank you so much for this beautiful story. I'm so honored to be your teacher.
Thank you.
Uh, thank you. And wow, and now we're gonna move to Šárka. And I need to unmute you.
Hello, Hadar. Hello, my dear new sounders. Hello, all boot campers. My name is Šárka, and I come from the Czech Republic. And I don't need English for my daily life. I don't even need it for my job. But I've been always wanting to own this language because I love how it sounds. I love the melody, and especially the American accent. And I've never learned English at school. My basic is only 2 week course that I attended during my university studies, and it was amazing, but it wasn't enough. And then after finishing the university, I started to work at Nestle in marketing department, so English became the part of my daily life. And I was also asked to deliver presentations in English, which was something completely frustrating for me because I hate speaking in public. It is something scaring for me, even in my native language. So delivering a presentation in English, it was a nightmare for me. And at that time, I perceived like that my colleagues are so much better in English, and I just had this 2 week experience in English. But instead of taking an action and improving my English, I started to develop bad habits and bad patterns in my brain. So my head was like, oh, I'm not enough in English. I cannot express myself. I cannot retrieve the words. I use just basic grammar and stuff like that. So this way, I succeeded to drop down my confidence in English, and it's going with me all for whole my life. And when I was a part of discussion, I was like before I started to speak, I was preparing everything in my head because I didn't want to make a mistake. I thought like people will judge me for my mistakes, and I didn't want to sound silly or not smart. But at the point when this thought was ready in my head, the discussion was far, far away from what I wanted to say. So my point was absolutely irrelevant at that point. So so this is my English, and I started to improve my English many times back in my in my life. So I took several teachers, private teachers, native speakers, local people, but nothing worked for me because it was, as like Jelena said, it was, everything was taught the old way, like a list of vocabulary, words, grammar, boring exercises, and stuff like that. So I wasn't able to stick with it. My motivation dropped down after a few weeks, and I couldn't see any progress because I wasn't patient enough to see or to wait for the first success, then celebrate it and go little by little, step by step to my goal. So and then like 1.5 years later, or back in my life, I started to consume a lot of content on internet. So I was following many podcasts, YouTube channels, and this is exactly the point when I came across to Hadar. And then during our summer traveling, I expected myself to be excellent in English. So I wanted to get in contact with the domestic people and with another tourists. But I got absolutely frustrated because I wasn't able to produce anything. And it was because the English was only in my head, and everything was perfect in my head. My pronunciation, the structure, how I built the sentences. But when it came to producing it out loud, it was mess, and I was completely stuck. So then my motivation again dropped absolutely down on the 0 level, and I stopped learning English. But then in the autumn 21, I received again email from you, Hadar, and you were inviting me for the second round of the New Sound. And I received already the first invitation for the first round, but I wasn't. I didn't want to. I didn't want to challenge myself because I was indulging in my comfort zone. So. And I was scared because I knew that if I sign up, I will have to talk to strangers, to other people. I will have to produce something, and I didn't trust myself that I will be able to do it. But then in the autumn, in October, I said, no, you have to change it. You have to do something because you don't feel well about yourself. You are always doubting your skills and your knowledge and stuff like that. So I wasn't a member of the Influency Festival. So I didn't know anything about the New Sound. I just pressed the button before all the obstacles came in, entered my mind, and starting telling me that no, you don't have to do it because you don't want to speak and you don't want to challenge yourself and stuff like that. So I just pressed the button. I enrolled, and immediately in the first week of this course, I knew that I'm in the right place, with the right people, with the right teachers, and nothing can stop me to get what I want to get. So I'm here with all of you speaking.
Yay! Šárka, what would you say? This is amazing, and I have to say, like how you described the experience of someone working in, in English or in a global company, in the corporate world. I think you really, really solidify that idea of I want to speak, but I'm waiting for it to be perfect in my head.
Yep.
And by the time it's perfect, the train has left, like it's way
Exactly.
too late for me to,
Yeah.
and then you always feel behind and you always feel FOMO and you always feel like not good enough. And recognizing it, that second time that you got the offer to join is exactly going against those patterns and habits. We always talk about thinking habits and, like our behavioral habits where we choose to avoid rather than to go full in. And I think that really change does come from, that one moment where you say no more, not like
Yep.
I'm tired of this behavior. This is not
Mhm.
serving me. But a lot of people do stay there for way too long. And I think sharing this experience is definitely a reminder for those who are still waiting, whether it's to join New Sound or to continue on their own, but to constantly put themselves in uncomfortable situations like you did. Šárka, what would you say your biggest win was from this experience over the past few months?
I would say the public speech that I gave.
The power speech.
Yeah, in a Katya's session.
Yes.
Because when we were working on our 90-day goals, I put there like I want to be able to speak for 3-4 minutes without making a lot of pauses and stuff like that. But somewhere back in my mind was, well, I would like to give a speech like a TED talk, but I'm not able to do it. Never. So I didn't put it in the.
You were afraid to even put it as a goal, right? Like you didn't even know that's not like from the outcome of not feeling good enough. Like you're not it's not even. I don't deserve even to dream that. Yeah.
And you know what? I was scared to write it down because I thought you will be asking me to do it.
I would have.
So it was really just in my mind. So yeah.
And
what helped me to make this mindset shift was I didn't like my body for whole my life, and I succeeded to lose like 7 kilos and completely change the way how I eat in past 2 years. And then at one moment I said to myself, hey, wait a minute, when you were able to make such a mindset shift in terms of your body, why you couldn't make it in terms of English? And that was the point when I pressed the button and I enrolled for your course.
Okay, I have chills all over my body right now. This is so powerful. This is so good. Yes. If we're able to be powerful and strong in other areas in our lives, and every person watching this has an area in their lives where they know that they did well. They know that they had that mindset shift. They know they brought change. So why not in English? Absolutely. Yeah. You have the power in you. Šárka, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. So then Oscar, and after that, we'll talk to Jessica. So Oscar, hi. And I need to unmute you. I forget.
Hey, Hadar, how are you? Hey, Francis, Jessica. Hey, guys, how are you? I'm so happy to be here, Hadar. You know why? Because 6 months ago, I was in the audience with a lot of thoughts and ideas on my mind, questions, but I remember that I say to myself, I want to be there in the second round, in the next round. I want to share my experience as a student, and here I am. So, yeah.
I mean, amazing.
So, yeah.
I'm so.
We have to
you
believe.
Did it.
We
you
have
did
to
it,
believe.
Oscar. You did it.
Yeah, we have to believe, and that's my advice for everyone. You have to believe because you can do it, as we did, as we are doing right now. Okay, regarding to the question, I'm Oscar. I'm from Colombia. My native language is Spanish, but I have been living in the States for the last 3 years. And the reason for that was because my wife was promoted, and we made the decision to, okay, maybe States is a good opportunity for us. And at that point, I thought that, okay, I have a good English level, so I can handle the situation very well. But when I was here, as Francis say, it was totally different. Totally different. um, I could understand very well what the people was trying to say because they were using different words that I've used in that particular situation. And when I'm trying to deliver a message, I feel like a little bit struggle because I couldn't find the right words, or I want to sound like a very fancy guy, like a very native speaker, and say, "Hey, I'm here. Can speak like all of you," but I couldn't. So I felt a little sad with me, and even I got a job in a very good position, in a global position. I have to run this business in English. All the time I had this voice of my mind saying, your English is not enough, your pronunciation is really bad, why you don't have these fancy words in your vocabulary that your colleagues has. Yeah, so have so I'm start to judge myself every single time, and as a result of that, I became in a shy person. Even that I have a good job, I have a living in a good place, I have a living in a community that I have to use the English every single day. So I have all to be a good English speaker. But I couldn't because in my mind I have all the time this voice saying you can't, you're not enough. So I was very sad and I was very frustrated and motivated with my English. In my job it was a problem because when I was in a meeting, everybody was waiting for my comments, for my thoughts. So I prefer the short story. I say yes, not, or just a simple comment. Or when I was in the meeting, I was thinking, okay, I want to say this or that, but when I had the final decision, boom, they were switching to another topic. I lost my opportunity. Or then and I'm saying, oh, when I was trying to decide what specific words what I want to use, just another colleague just jump in with two or three simple words. They say what I want to say. Say, oh my gosh, what's happened to me? I'm the problem. And I say to my wife, you know what? I think that I made a wrong decision when I decided to come to the States because I'm not the person I used to be. As some friends say, I'm this kind of person that want to speak every time, to explain myself, to share my thoughts and my opinion. And she say, okay, wait a moment, breathe. We can do it, and look for something. And I was just looking in the internet about any course in the university and wherever, and I saw you, and I saw a couple of your videos, and I saw the fluency festival, and I say, okay, maybe that's a good opportunity to try it, and I did it, and it was the best decision that I made at that time because I had my hot seat with you. And I remember that I was explaining, I say, no, Hadar, I need a good vocabulary. I want to become a very fluent person. And you say, Oscar, what about your confidence? And I say, oh my God, she understood very well what is my problem. And I was trying to do it for a long time. So yeah, that was my problem, the mindset that I have at that moment. And then the new song helped me a lot with that, the foundations model, and then the models number 9 and 10 in which you have to build all this mindset about this opportunity to continue your way by yourself, believing in yourself. That was amazing. Yeah, that's true for me.
Wow, Oscar, that's amazing. Like, I knew your story, but I didn't know all the small details about how you felt in that meeting, which kind of like reminded me a little bit of what Sharka said of choosing the short story. This is huge. It's like this is how we always feel so like a limited version
Yeah.
of ourselves, right? Like a pale version. There is the expressive, vivid, colorful version that we know who we are. And then when we choose or because of the situation, we end up just showing a little bit of it. This is where we feel like we're not bringing ourselves to life almost. We're just like, it's a very pale version, and people don't know who we really are. And I think that this is why mindset, because your English was there. It was there. Everything was there. And I think like this is also what we talked about in the coaching session, where it's not about the more. It's about how you take what you already have and you make the best of it, and you show up with what you have, and you're proud of it, and you do your work. And again, and you show up and you speak, and also that's how you learn and kind of like build up that confidence, not just in English, but of, you know, being okay with what it is that you're sharing, even if it's not perfect. That is a skill in and of itself, being always okay. You know, I have that with my videos where sometimes, you know, I'm very happy with the result and sometimes not so much, but I've built the confidence of putting it out there, even if I think that I could have done a better job. You know, it's and that alone is the work that we also need to do when we speak. Oscar, what was your favorite part about New Sound? Which lesson or module?
Oh, the videos, because as Francis say, for me, Bill was like, maybe I know this kind of guy, and I remembered my first video. I read like 40 videos
Mm.
just to post in one, but then I start to feeling better with the videos, and when I saw my first video and I heard my voice and I saw the way that I was speaking, I understood a lot of things about me as an English speaker, which
Ah.
is really important. It's really
And for those who don't know, what Oscar refers to is that we encourage our students inside the Facebook group, just like we do in the boot camp. We encourage our students to put into practice what they learn by making videos, whether it's daily videos or reflection on their work or just answering questions. And I think like that, making 40 videos just to have one that you're like okay with. This is a very common experience, but then towards the end, you probably just recorded and posted. You didn't second guess yourself so much. You didn't, right?
yeah, and then that was very easy for me, and my family was helping me a lot in that. My kids was just recording me or was part of my videos, and that was really good part of the time with my family in the new song program. And then it was a habit for me. I created a new habits for me with the sprints and with the speech or with the pronunciation, everything that now that's make more sense for me when I have a good habits about my English. Yeah, because it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. And just to go back to what you said about involving your family in your process, in your journey, I think it's so amazing. First of all, it's so much fun to see it. You're also a Beyond member, and we see you kind of like joining some of the sessions with your kids, and I love that so much. They're like part of the community already. But I think also that that including the people in our lives in this work is so important, so that they help you succeed, because a lot of times when they're not a part of it, they might unintentionally get in the way. So not in your case, Oscar, but I've seen situations where it's like, because it's almost like competition, right? Aline, you just mentioned something a little bit about that. It's almost like, okay, but you know, like you have your thing that is all your own. So I think that involving, you know, your kids and your spouses or your parents, no matter, you know, whoever it is that you're living with, if you live with family members, I think it's so incredibly important and helps the process and the journey, right, Oscar?
Yeah, correct. And maybe, and also because you are consuming family time when you are doing this kind of things in your life. So when you say, okay, stay with me in the process, help me in the process, it's a lot of fun for everybody.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, beautiful. Really, I love that. Thank you so much, Oscar. And again, I'm going to come back to you with, like, all of you will give one piece of advice to everyone at the end. But before that, last but not least, my dear Jessica. And I'm going to unmute you. Hello. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay. You need to unmute yourself.
Okay. I
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
Hadar. Hi, everyone. Hi, my dear New Sounders.
Yay. So good to see you, Jessica. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. First of all, thank you so much, Hadar, for having us here, for extending this invitation to all of us. And this is a student panel of success stories, and I'm pretty sure that all of us has one, like we already share, and I have mine too. And so I'm going to start with a question and introduce myself and tell a little bit of my story. But thank you so much, Hadar, not only for today, but for everything that you have done in every of your programs, and especially New Sound. I love
Thank
New
you,
Sound,
Jessica.
and I will forever be a New Sounder. But let's go there in a
That's
little
it. Like once you're a new
bit.
sounder for life. Yes.
Yes,
It's an identity.
yes. That's the way that I feel. So, my name is Jessica, and I'm from Ecuador, but I live in the States 2 years ago. I moved to the States 2 years ago. So, and when I joined one of the Hadar's programs, New Sound, I was very sad and I was depressed. That was the reality of my life in that moment. So, as all my New Sounders fellows here says, we feel like when we move to a country that doesn't have our language, our native language, we just feel like we have two personalities, and one shies, which is our native language, and the other one just we feel that we don't fit in that place or in that whatever we go. It feels that we don't fit in that place. And other than that, also we have good experiences and bad experiences. And for the reason that I don't know why, but we are experts to embrace the bad experiences more than the good ones. And those are the ones that shoot us down. And so that was happening with me. And I was very disappointed. I was very discouraged. I was sad and I was like depressed. And I was one day in my bed. So I really didn't know what else to do because, as Oscar says, and Šárka and Aline, we all probably have contact with English before that we joined New Sound or before that we found Hadar. And but for whatever reason, those bad experiences that put us down just make us feel that we are not enough and that our English is not enough. And we just feel that we don't have kind of an identity or a place for us to be here or to be in the place that we live right now with new stuff, with new culture, with new language. So I was very on that situation because of the bad experiences that I have. Like people saying, "Oh, is that we just don't talk to her because she is a little intimidated because sometimes she can understand or she can respond or we don't know if she's understanding well." And those things that hurts you, like it hurts you. And I was in that situation and I was just really didn't know what else to do. But I knew that I wanted to do something. I just didn't know what else because until that point, I was like, I shut down my Spanish for 3 months at the very beginning when I moved to this country just to give myself the opportunity to improve my English. But it seemed that it wasn't enough. So people still was like making me feel bad for my English or for my accent. And I was like, okay, so I really didn't know what to do. One day I was in the bed and then I was on YouTube and then a Hadar's video pops out on my screen. And I was like, oh, she sounds nice. She sounds very nice. Until this point, I have no idea that she wasn't an English native speaker. But I was like, she knows, like, she seems like I need to be in this. In it needs more about her. Let get knows to her more better. And then she announced about the influency influency. What was that? The
The
influency
festival,
community
the Fluency
festival.
Festival,
The
because there
influency
is the
festival.
Influency community and there is the Fluency
Yes,
Festival, and it's all very confusing. The
yes.
Fluency
No, was
Festival, that's an event. For those who don't know, that's an event that we held last year around October, right before New Sound. Yeah.
so yes, I heard about that, and then I joined it, and then it was the community and the classes. It was completely different for something that I've have seen or heard or learned before about English, and that got my attention. And then she sent us a link for a sample of what new sounds will look like, and I joined that link, and I remember was the th lesson, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never knew about this is what I was missing. I need to be in this program. And I told my husband, I don't know like too much, but this lesson is enough for me to just see that I can get something different from here. And I didn't doubt it so much. And I like the next day or the 2 days later, she announced that there was open doors for New Sound, and I was one of the first one. Like she announced it in the morning, I joined in at the night just until I read the email, and it was
I
immediate.
love that so much. I love the story of the behind the scenes of how you joined. So good.
So since then, I joined New Sound, and then as I told you, I was in a very sad moment and I really didn't have any expectations. By the way, I need to say that was the first time that I'm joining a virtual course, like in a platform. I've heard a lot of them and I always was a little skeptical. But after the TH, and it was like, this sounds interesting. I think I'm going to like it. So I joined and it was my first experience like with a virtual community and Facebook and all of that and recording videos and all of that. I was like the kid just walking step by step, figure out all this new world for me. Like that was what New Sound. And what I found here was more that I wasn't expecting anything, but even if I will, I found more that I was expecting. So it's just I call myself at the end of the program, this was a journey. My new sound experience, I call my transformation journey because that's what I found. As I, Oscar and Francis and Aline and Sark and Jelena, we all found a new version of ourselves. But as I'm gonna say something that my husband told me after we end the course, because um he said maybe your English was always there because he always told me that my English was good, but for whatever reason when I went to outside people doesn't think the same as he thinks. So he said, I believe that always was there, but Hadar's and all the news and program and the community and everything that you experience just unlock that. Hadar's unlock that was in there, and I truly believe them
So
like
good.
I remember as many of us being shy. My first video I recorded 20 times, and it was
Mm.
so frustrated. And I when I went back to see it, I you can read my body language, and I'm so tense. And I was like, because we don't have any experience, and at
Yeah.
this time, it's like part of your homework. It's like if you are here, you are going to do things that puts you out of your comfort zone, and
Yeah.
that's what is going to navigate you or is going to take you to the final result. But it's not going to be probably the same that you think your goal is going to be more than the ones that you write down at the moment that you join the course. You're going to get even more.
Wow.
And so I remember that video I recorded 20 times, and it was so weird for me. And the first time that I joined one of the sessions, the coaching sessions, Hadar also challenged me. And then I'm the type of person that I just like to honor the words of my work. And I remember Hadar challenged me to going live, and I was like, I barely can make a video. And then she challenged me, but she's kind of like the teacher, she's kind of the boss. How can I make down
No,
the
you can't. You
phone?
have to do, yeah, exactly. You have to do it.
That sense of urgency, but also commitment that you have with the boss that push you, really push you. And I was like, I cannot not do it like the homework that my teacher gave me. And so I did it, and since then it's just different. All my journey, I was like walking baby steps, and the community helps a lot. And I love so much the community, because I believe without that support of each one, it shouldn't be, it couldn't be the same. Like, the community also have a very plays important role in this. And I think it's a plus, or a enormous plus that this program has. And that's when I found my friend Francis, because during the journey, there's still going to be times that we feel like sad or down, or that we feel frustrated because we have a lot of information and everything is new, and you are trying to digest it. And then, but that's what is important in your partner, because there was times that I came to Francis and I was like, my English didn't came out of my mouth. Like, I can't, like, I gotta stop, or I have a bad week. And then he was like, come on, Jessica, you can do this. And like that coach, that video that he just played, like that coach. And Jelena as well, like, oh, I feel overwhelmed with work. And that time she was working, and it was like, don't worry, you get this, don't overwhelm yourself. Like, we're gonna do this. And every also break a room that I have with Šárka or Oscar or Aline, everything, like, the community is incredible. And yes, I love so much. And that's something that I always also gonna be grateful for. And it also adds to this transformation journey that I had. And as that Oscar said, I figured out in my journey that it wasn't the English, it was my confidence. I lost that because people just make me feel that I was less smart, or I was less intelligent, and that I couldn't do it. But like, when I found my teacher, which was my coach at the same time, and challenged me, I'm talking about you, Hadar. And then when I have these friends that um, had all the time there, like, we can do this, we're gonna do it, we have to, or encourage all of that ad. And the coaches and all the team, there's never like a time that I have a question, or a problem, a question that never was an answer. And also the follow up, that's another thing. And all these contribute to our transformation. And at the end, all the sessions, like, I also was in one of the Ekaterina sessions, public speaking, all of that helped me a lot to build that confidence that I had lost. And
Yeah.
all of that helped to get to the point that when was ending, I think we all didn't want to end the chorus, because we feel so good here in a safe place where nobody criticizes you, where we all are in the same boat, and we all like just cheering each other in in a safe place. But we just like didn't want to finish, but at the same time we all were so empowered and so happy for the wins, that individual wins, but the wins that we see in our friends, because the community became your closest friends, and you
Yeah.
were happy for that too. Like not only you succeed, but your friends too. Like you see their path, you see the journey that they also, and you remember the conversations that you had in the past. You remember the sounds that you couldn't say it before, or, this, or the ones that you were correcting now because you can identify them, and all is just a mix of all good things. And
I think when I saw your work in transformation, the thing that stuck out most for me was, I really remember you in one of the first sessions. You didn't even speak, you wrote a comment in the chat. You said, "I'm working on building my confidence to post videos." And then that was at the beginning of the program. At the end of the program, I was lucky to participate in the module review session, which was hosted by Leia, one of our ambassadors. Some people here mentioned Katya's, Ekaterina's public speaking session, and Leia did module reviews. These are New Sound ambassadors, so they are actually past students who are also hosting activities inside the group, and we will have ambassadors in the next round as well, amazing ambassadors, and some of you are here. So, Jessica, I think that what really stuck out is that transformation in your confidence and charisma and personality. So it wasn't like your English was not there. It really was you just blooming and thriving right there in front of us on camera, but it was really remarkable. It was like a different human being. And I think that the fact that you allowed yourself to take on this opportunity and you showed up like everyone else here and you did the work. It's not magical. It's not magical. I mean, the lessons are precise. I know the content is good, but it's you showing up consistently, staying in the content, doing the work. That is the key to success. That is the magic pill, not anything else. And this is why you should all be so proud of yourself, because easily you could have been at a different place,
mhm,
So I'm so,
yeah.
so grateful for all of you and for all of your stories. Um, I
Yeah.
have did you have one more thing to say, Jessica?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that at the end, it was, as I said, like I just feel like something was unlocked in myself. And
Yeah.
as you say, it was that the me now in this new skin in English, I can be the same person right now as I was in Spanish, or as I am in Spanish now in English. So, and as I got all this empowerment at the end, I just didn't want it to take it to the next step. And I start to build that confidence, and we talk about it. And I, at this point, I'm just the Jessica that was crying in the bed. It was completely different right now, and I was like, I can do this. My English is enough, and it doesn't matter if I have an accent. I'm just going outside there, out of the shell, and just start to build my life there. And that's what at the end of the course, I start to build my resume and also do all my path to looking for a job. And I was working for that for like 3 weeks. And right now I'm working for a property management company that they hired me, and I'm a leasing consultant. And it was
That's
incredible.
amazing.
So
Well
yes,
done.
this is
Mm.
like my success story, and like I carry with me every single thing that I learned from New Sound and all the transformation that New Sound gave me. And even when I was in the interview with these two American girls who looks very American and very intimidated, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like very nervous, but I was like, I can do this. I know that I can, and I'm ready for this. And when they asked me, well, tell us about you, because that's the common question, right? Tell us about you. You're not gonna believe it, and you're probably gonna laugh. But the first things that came to my mind was Hadar's videos doing the introduction video, and I was like, okay, I know how to do this. And then I start literally like as I recorded my introduction videos, and like at this time it just felt like natural for me. And then I even mentioned like I'm not an English native speaker, but I've been working hard in my English, and I know that I can do this, and I'm capable because, and I'm not acquitted, and like I'm just a hard worker. And I said this because I remember from Hadar, and I said I'm here because I'm not letting my English stop me for getting the things that I want, and I want.
Oh my God, so good.
Yes,
A round of applause.
if
So
Hadar
good.
is proud of
Don't, I'm not letting English get in the way of what I want. Amazing.
yes.
Oh wow, Jessica, this is amazing. Amazing. It's so good to see this and to hear this. And again, it's possible for everyone watching. It is possible.
Yes.
It's just a matter of putting your mind to it and knowing that you can. Jessica, thank you so much for sharing with us your incredible story. And now to wrap up, we're going to do just a quick round of one piece of advice um, that you have to share with someone watching right now. Like, what would you tell someone who was where you were, let's say, a year ago? So, Jelena, I'm going to go ahead and ask you.
So I would say consistency, that you need to show up every day. And I remember this, I heard it in one of your videos, but I think that you also mentioned it during the first day of a boot camp. Don't miss your practice 2 days in a row. Stuck into my mind, and that's like the rule I'm strictly following. And I would definitely recommend to join New Sound, because you will definitely develop that habit, which will make you to practice every day in a safe environment with fantastic people. Organization is fantastic, everything is straightforward, and you will have a lot of fun. Maybe you will discover some new talents, as I discovered, for example, acting talent. And
Very true. Oh
yeah,
God, very true. Yes.
yeah. And I
You
would
and your
just,
partner too, by the way.
yeah,
Just say.
yeah, that's right. That's was really really super fun. Yeah. And I just wanted to say thank you, Hadar. Thank you. I really believe in you, in everything what you do, and that's the reason I made this journey, and I'm successful, and I'm confident English speaker. I just wanted to thank all your team, the all members in your team, and also the New Sound ambassadors, because I think that we were lucky to have Leia, Katarina, Barbara, Alma, or Sergio, because they showed us a way by their example. So I just also wanted to thank them, of course, our coaches, Jelena and Christina, Amar, and all other people, Vika. Sorry for forgetting someone. And yeah, because I think that this New Sound is like a whole package. You will learn how to discover what you need to work on to establish your habits, healthy habits, and to as Jessica said, celebrate everyone's success, to be proud of your success and your friend's success, because we are all here friends. And yeah, definitely I would recommend joining New Sound, because yeah, as we said today, that transformed us, and we became a confident English speakers. And because of that, we achieved our like goals in real life, I would say, and not like just in a point of view of English, but also before going to started living in United States, I lived in Slovenia, and I learned Slovenian language. And when I started the course, I also became a confident Slovenian speaker. So it's it's not only like an English journey, but you are transforming in so many different ways. You learn a lot of things you can apply in some other fields of your life, which are important to you. Yeah.
Wonderful. Jelena, thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm honored to be your teacher.
Yeah, I'm honored to be here, and thank you for this wonderful experience again. like overall experience.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I hope we all get to meet one day. And
Yeah, that would be like highlight. Yeah,
For
I
sure.
think that was Jessica's, or I don't know whose idea was that you should maybe organize some conference where we can
No,
join.
it's
It
like
wasn't
it's
it wasn't
a
an idea.
dream.
It's just a desire of my heart. Like it would be great
Yeah.
that she do like a conference or something like that where we can go and it would be like
Oh, it will happen. It will
Assume
happen.
it.
It
yes, like
will
that.
happen.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. The New Sound Summit, the annual summit.
Yeah.
But not virtual.
Not virtual,
Not
no.
Weird.
virtual.
We need to find a good location.
Yeah.
So definitely. Amazing, Jelena. Thank you. And Francis, what would be your piece of advice?
Well, actually, I have so much advices to those who watching us right now because I think first of all they maybe are a little bit skeptical because it was my feeling at the beginning because it's just one more course, but actually it's completely different. You have 3 months that you can dedicate yourself, and if you do the work you're gonna have an outcome that is you cannot believe. It's something like that. You said that is not magical, but if you are persistent, you put all your efforts, you're gonna see a magic. It's almost kind of something like that. So my piece of advice, because of all of it that I said, is to follow every single step that it's recommended for you, because this program, it's really, really well planned by Hadar and her team. And you have this team to support you. And because of that, for instance, let me just make an analogy here. For instance, you go to the doctor and you're gonna receive some medication, and you're gonna take it because you believe in this professional. Hadar and her team, they are this professional that you need to believe. Like believe in yourself a lot, but believe also in the team because they they build this program in a really perfect way. I cannot say another word besides perfect. And well, I think for instance, I'm gonna just say some things that happened with me. I was watching the videos and Hadar used to say, oh, repeat a word 30 times. I said, oh no, I'm gonna do that, come on. But actually, this is the work that you need to do. It's all about repetition. When you talk about sounds and pronunciation, if you don't do this job, you will not have the outcome that you need. I remember one talk that I was having with Jessica, and Jessica said, oh, you said this word that's not quite right. So let's repeat 30 times. Like because of that, we see that the community is so important. And one more thing, just to end, because Hadar asked me about the community, I want to add something. Oscar, for instance, is a guy that I saw a transformation that was the beginning that I talked with him, and the Oscar at the end of the course was completely different. Like the sounds that he was talking, and it was much more clear. But what I would like to talk about the community is that I saw a lot of similarities in his story, in his journey, and my journey. And the thing about community that is really nice, and also it's a piece of advice, it's to embrace the community. It's that be vulnerable, like I know that my story is like Oscar's stories because he was vulnerable with me and I was with him. So we share so much experience, these difficulties that we had in our lives. And this was really important to our confidence because we see that it's not like just about you are the only one that is suffering with something like that. It's everybody, but you need to just deal with that. We need to face it differently. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, Francis. Thank you so much. That's a great advice. Aline.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm gonna try to give an advice based on my experience because like even though I love it, everything about Hadar strategy, and I was so addicted to her content. I was a little bit afraid of enrolling to New Sound because I was afraid of wasting money and not being able to stick to the program because of my busy life. And then I just was always listening to her telling how it would be able, how busy people would also be able to stick to the program because the program is so well designed to attend all any kind of people, and necessity is covered. And I believed that, and so that was the big thing that convinced me to enroll to the program. So also I was just expecting so bad New Sounds open doors to enroll to that. And I just, followed all the advices and instructors that Hadar give us in the New Sound program. If I can give you one more spoil, she teaches us how to organize our day, what we should prioritize. So we should prioritize the core content, and then the speaking sessions, that we have. And then if you have time, you can enjoy and be active in the Facebook community. So I was following that strictly. And also what Jelena said, I was very strict about not skipping 2 days in a row, and I was putting all my effort. And as I love English, for me it's a pleasure, I was putting all my effort. So I was waking up five around 5:30 a.m. in the morning every day to be able to do my work. And the core content was my main thing. I had to get it done every day. And the other big thing, I think, was the big differential for myself, was being able to have two amazing speak partners. It is so important. As I was not able to be active in the Facebook program, I had the opportunity, thanks to our fellow Hadija. Hadija invited me and another colleague from the program in the first speaking session that we had. It was Leslie, but we didn't have time to exchange our contact. But then in the second breakout room that I got, I was again with her, luckily. And it was me and her and Šárka, and she invited us again. And I was a little bit afraid to accept because I didn't want to disappoint them, because I thought maybe, oh, I'm not going to have time to interact with them, so they're going to be disappointed with me. And then even though I was thinking like that, I accepted. I said I would just take this challenge and I'll try to explain them that I'm busy and I'm going to do my best to be interacting with them. And it was I think the most important thing that happened, because since then I was in touch with them every day in WhatsApp, and we have been sharing content there, videos, audio. And what helped me the most was being able to listen to my own contents, in a sense of being watching my videos and listen to my audios and see where I needed to improve, because sometimes we are speaking and you maybe think that we are, your sound, you think your sound is one thing, but when you listen to it, you see that your sound is not coming out of your mouth fully. So that's something that maybe you need to work on a little bit more. And I was also trying to practice on the go all the time. If I was doing this year, I was like there doing the, TH sound, like transition and everything. And for the ones who have this busy life like me, I want to say that it is possible, and it is possible, and you can get a lot of result, even if you don't think it is, because I can see the difference in my speech right now. I got new vocabulary, and I was not doing everything. I was not a, there's a lot in New Sun. There's a lot. Believe me, Hadar says that you have content for 5 years, and that's true, or maybe even more. So I was not able to do everything, but the little I did, I got amazing results. So I would totally encourage you to overcome your fears of nothing being able, and go for it. You're not going to regret, for sure.
Oh, amazing. I love this so much. And this is so important to me, what you just shared, because I myself, as a busy person, as a busy entrepreneur, every time I think of like joining a training or doing something, this is one of my biggest fears, of not being able to continue with the program. And I always remind myself that it's okay if I only take just what I need from it. I don't need to do everything. And usually, if I take the right course, that is the case. So, you telling me that right now makes me feel super confident, because that's exactly the experience that I wanted to create, to be able to do do a lot, but also to have just enough for those who choose the things that are right for them, and also to be able to fit it in to a person's busy schedule. I'm obsessed with productivity and with, organization, like making sure that your day is organized. And I had that thought when I created New Sound. So it's so nice to hear that from, like years, months after, to see that this is the result, and this has really worked. So thank you, Aline.
Sure.
Sharka.
Yeah, like first I would say don't hesitate to join the New Sound program, because it's the best investment in your English, and the money is totally worth it. And in my public speech, I said that we cannot change other people, but we can change other people's life for the better. And this is exactly, Hadar, what you are doing, because this program is not about English only. It's about life, and it really can change everything. So thank you so much, because here is something different in my head after finishing this course. So, and then if you join, then just trust the process, trust yourself, your abilities to go through everything. Find the speaking partner as soon as possible, not to be alone, because you will find out that you are not alone. You are not alone with your fears, with your doubts about yourself. We all are the same people, and we were sharing our stories, and it was such a great experience for me to find out that also the other people struggle with the same things as I do. So so that was great. And yeah, and then say yes to challenges. It was really important for me.
Yes.
Yeah, what next? Yeah, just don't be afraid. And I would like say again, big thanks to you. And you are surrounded with such a great people. All the coaches, I'm not gonna name all of them, because Jelena did it already. And just one more point, I saw a few notes yesterday during the masterclass, if there will be native or American teachers. And I was also like that. I was searching for native teachers and coaches, but I think it's much better to have non-native speakers, non-native coaches, because they exactly know, they went through the process too, the same way as we did. And they exactly know what's going on in our heads. They know what we are struggling with. So for me, it was much better to have all, to be exposed to all accents, and to trust people who did the same and went through the same process as I did. We did, all of us. So thank you. And the community was absolutely amazing, and it was amazing 3 months of my life.
Aw, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing what you just shared. And I agree with you 100%. Thank you, Sharka. And Oscar.
Okay. I will say if you are looking for something different, this is the right place because for me, New Zone is not a program; it's an experience.
Hmm.
Um, but if you want to live the experience, you will have to open your mind and give you the chance to live this live this experience with no restrictions. That's the only way to get all the results that you are looking for. And as Francis said, community is really important because you will find a lot of people that have the same story that you have, and they will be more than happy to support you in your journey. And Hadar and her team, they are very oriented people that are ready to help you, to give you the right advice in the right moment, because that's what you need. You don't need a native speaker as a teacher, as Sarka said. I think that what we need is an people like them, that they were student, so they know very well what we are thinking, what the feelings are. So if you're feeling frustrated, they know how to help you. So yeah, you're gonna be in the right place. So that's my only advice. Give you the chance to live this experience because it's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh,
Come on, Santi. And
thank you.
I have some person that want to say hi.
Hey,
Hello.
what's
Hi.
up?
We're in the
What?
middle of a trip.
Huh?
We are in the middle of a trip. We are in a spring break vacation.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
So
stealing you from your family right now?
no, but
Are you
they say
supporting?
yes. They will say, okay, you have an Hadar meeting and say, okay, can I just participate? Can I say something? I say, I'm not sure because it's on a live and this is not
Of
like
course you can say. What would you like to say? How do you see your dad's experience?
I think he's gotten way better.
Yeah? And how I guess this is like the best it's the best I think feedback you could have ever gotten right now.
yeah. He's
And
my master here.
and
Because
what would you say about his commitment and the work that he did? Was he a good student? That's my question.
Yes, he was. He was really good.
He was doing his homework?
Yes.
And you two were helping him, I know. So
Yes,
thank you
and we had a lot of fun with the videos.
and I'm so happy to hear, and thank you for being so supportive of your dad, because I know it means a lot to him. Really, you have no idea how important it is to have the support of the family, and the fact that we see you showing up also in Beyond and in here, it's amazing, and we really do think of you all as part of our community. Well, thank
Well, nice to meet all of you.
you.
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you. This just made my day completely. And Oscar, knowing that you're on vacation doing this, I'm like, I respect you so much. Thank you for doing this.
no, that's the way that I pay back for you to all your good things that you give to my life.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
And Jessica, what would be your piece of advice?
I will add, I think my fellow New Zealanders has said everything. But one of the reasons that I'm here as well, or that I say yes, it's because I believe that the good things needs to be shared.
Yeah.
And New Sound and you and your team has done an amazing job that it needs to be shared. And for all the ones that are watching us, like if you are still hesitating, I'm just uh would like to think about this quote. My fellow New Sounders knows that I love quotes, and of course I want to bring one for you today. I got this one, and I want to read this one for you. The
Please.
doors we open and close each day decide the lives we live.
Ah, so
So
good.
you
Read it again. Read it again. Read it again for everyone.
Okay. The doors we open and close each day decide the lives we live.
So good.
So right now it's a door there, and you are going to decide it. after this life, if you want to open it or not. But the doors that you open or close decide the life that you want to live. And this is an opportunity for you to go to a new journey that it's going to give you many things that you probably are not expected, but you are not going to regret it. I guarantee you. And this is just one story, but you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories.
Mm.
And you're not gonna regret it. It's worthy. And yeah. So
Jessica, thank you so much for wrapping up with this beautiful, truthful quote. I think we can all relate to that, and I think this is something that we need to remember about, and also that we choose to open those doors, and we always, or to keep them closed.
yeah.
And no matter what it is that we choose to do in our lives. And I think, Oscar mentioned it as well about this idea of, deciding to be vulnerable, to take action, and to make a commitment, and like the mindset work that we put in, it changes everything. It really isn't just about English. So I really want to thank you all today for sharing your story, for being so generous, both with your time and with your words. I'm so honored and privileged, and I did not expect, like all this, overwhelming joy and emotion from hearing how you've benefited from. I mean, I knew you did well, but hearing this right now all together is really very overwhelming in a very good, positive way. I feel joyful and grateful for having you as students. And I just want to say that there are also hundreds of other students who have had similar success stories who are not on the screen, but have done magnificent work. And they're also here in the chat, in the comments, supporting you. So a shout out to all the other new sounders, incredible new sounders who shared their stories, or did not share their story, but they have gone through this transformation. And I want to congratulate everyone and to say thank you for being a part of this. And thank you for all the boot campers who are not in New Sound just yet. And if you want, I'll tell you how you can join as well. But even the fact that you are here means that you are serious about the life that you want for yourself, and the doors that you're willing to open and to put in the work. All of you are hard workers. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And I respect all of you so very much, because, I appreciate people who are proactive about their reality and about their lives, and people who care about others, which is usually the heart of our community. So thank you so much. Now, for those of you who are wondering, okay, how do I get a little bit of this magic too? The doors for New Sound are open. So you can join right now at hadarshemesh.com/join. Thank you, Katya. Thank you, Amar. You shared it in the comments. If you need a little bit more time to think about it, do not worry. We have until the end of the week, until Friday, where doors are open. I'm going to answer questions later on this week. So just so you know, you have a little bit of time to think. But if you want to take action right now, you will also get this extra bonus from me. New Sounders, thank you so much. Jelena, Šárka, Oscar, Francis, Jessica, Aline, you really, you made my day, my week, my month. Thank you so much for being so awesome and for
Thank
sharing
you.
your stories.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
And thank you for everyone watching. I really want you guys to read the comments after, because they're just incredible. You will be so proud of yourself after reading them.
Oh, great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.